discover purpose, and influence your world. Hello, and welcome to the Influence Podcast. This episode, we are filming in our brand new podcast studio at Bridgepoint. Isn't that amazing? Pastor Cataline, how do you feel about our new podcast studio?
Well, after you dream for over 2 years about something, and you start moving slow and steady, sometimes slower than steady. But after dreaming for over 2 years, after 3 months of setting up, painting, buying equipment, set it up, we are here, and we are excited about this podcast media room that we are going to use for God's glory and for bringing new content to people's life, in people's life.
So many opportunities here. We're super excited. So for today's episode, our topic is money talk. That's going to be exciting.
Probably we are not going to talk about how much money we put in this room.
No, we shall not speak of it. No. But this topic came up because recently Pastor C finished a class of Financial Peace University. That is Dave Ramsey. Great class. He's taught it many times. He took a group through. And today we have a very special guest with us, Nathan Lamb. So Nathan, tell us about yourself.
Yep, I'm Nathan, like you guys heard, and I'm currently in college, online with NDSU, and I also help out with the youth group here at Influence with Mario and Julia. And I also have, should I say the YouTube?
Yeah. Tell us about your YouTube channels.
I also have 2 YouTube channels. GorillaTube, which is like Lego content, and I've been able to grow that over the past few years to over 6,000 subscribers and 1 million views overall. And then I also have a second channel, Biblical Betterment, which is more Bible-focused videos.
Yes. So like and subscribe to those. Excellent content. We're so excited. But we invited you on the show today, Nathan, because you were part of the FPU class, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So we're going to just dive right in and to our money talk. So, Nathan, when you first walked into the FPU class, what was your honest reaction?
Well, my parents had always talked about taking a Dave Ramsey course before, so I guess I was anticipating it to just be something casual or whatever, but when I got there, I was pretty excited to see everyone was motivated to get after their finances. And as someone in college right now, obviously finances are important for me. So, I was ready to learn.
So did it feel like overwhelming or like outdated, Dave Ramsey's idea of no credit cards and cash is king? Or what do you think about that?
I've not owned a credit card to this point, but I definitely know that everyone has credit card or credit cards. So, I guess a little bit jarring, but once you get through like the whole course, I guess you get the full idea of everything. So I wouldn't say like just disregard his information because I guess you've heard about his credit card take, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What I really like about the cash is king or no credit card is that with no credit cards, you cannot spend what you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Pastor C, in your many years of ministry, because we're old, why do you think that money is sometimes the subject of money is sometimes avoided in the church? And what do you think is the spiritual significance of the topic?
Well, I do think money, it's a very important part of the spiritual and Christian's life, like everyone else, right? You cannot be Christian and have no money at all. Money is part of our life. And in fact, I think the Bible speaks a lot about finances, about money, about resources, about blessings. You can call them however you want, but bottom line is that Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6 is saying, Solomon is saying, wisest man ever lived, said that start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn turn away from it or turn from it. And many people, if you grew up in church, you probably heard this Bible verse mentioned in context of being thought about God or Christian or religious life. But if you read the following verse, is saying, verse 7 in chapter 22 is saying, the rich rule over the poor and the borrower is slave to the lender. So in other words, those two verses are in the same context. So teaching the children in a godly way of managing finances, it's a call and a recommendation from Solomon and God, of course. Also, I do think we avoid talking with kids about money or in church about money because we can see Fidelity actually did a survey and they discovered that 60% of parents don't talk about sex and money. In fact, they discovered that parents prefer to talk about sex rather than money. And without realizing, we brought the same concept or culture into the church, and we don't talk about those at all. Something else, I think, is that parents might think, talking with their children about, that they need to have it all figured out before they will talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, don't worry, we're not talking about sex today. So I just wanted to say that. But in church, I think also a lot of times you hesitate to preach about money or talk about money because it's like, oh, there the church is just asking for money again. And that's not what it's about.
And from a pastor perspective, can be seen like, oh, there he is again asking for money to do something that the congregation might feel like it's his dream. When actually it's probably a dream that God gave him as a pastor, right? It's a calling that he has a vision and a plan and can be seen like, oh, another idea of the pastors.
Or that maybe the finances would be misused because we see that happening in different circumstances in the culture too.
Yes.
But it is important, that's for sure. So Nathan, so you're 19, college student. Most college students and 19-year-olds are focused on exams and their social life. So for you, what was it that like sparked you to want to dive into understanding finances or get your finances in order?
Yeah, great question. So for me, I would say like a big motivation of mine, it's on like my whiteboard, is that I want to finish college debt free. So yeah, my first like step in that, I guess, was 2 years ago when I chose to do PSEO while in high school, which I definitely recommend if anyone's interested in doing that. It's a great way to get a lot of college knocked out early. But yeah, so that knocked off for me at least a year and a half. So I only have to do 2.5 years to then get my 4-year degree. So that definitely was a big like step forward. And then taking the Dave Ramsey course, I thought would help me like know how to, I guess, attack then the rest of the college I had to pay off.
And it's kind of strange to hear somebody like your age who wants to go through college with no loans, debt free. Like this is something that I think many college students should admire and should pursue in their life.
Well, and I think that maybe people in your generation are seeing those in the previous generations make different choices. And they're like, well, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to, like, I have friends from college, which was a long time ago, and they still have loans. So I really commend you for how you're being so intentional about staying out of debt. And it's going to serve you well. I know it is.
It's kind of joking, but was one of those memes on Facebook saying that somebody in their 85 years old just finished paying the student loans.
Well, all right. So, Pastor C, baby step 1 of Dave Ramsey's class is $1,000 emergency fund, right? So to a college student, that might seem like a lot of money. And to an adult, it feels like a really bad car repair. So how does this starter fund help to change your mindset about risk and debt and all that stuff?
This fund idea or emergency fund idea is not something new. And in fact, for college students or people that make under $25,000 a year, Dave Ramsey even recommend a $500 emergency fund will be okay. But the idea of emergency fund is not a revolutionary idea. In fact, it's very old strategy to not become slave to the lender, as I mentioned before. Probably you heard your grandma or your grandpa saying like, you have to save for rainy days, right? Rainy days are going to happen. Rain is not something that we can count on or we can schedule it. And by the way, it's 100% it's going to happen. Eventually, it's going to rain. So you need to invest for rainy day. Proverbs, Solomon again, because I think I'm going to quote this guy quite often, and we quote him quite often in financial world. Proverbs 21:20 saying, the wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp their down. And by the way, food is for our daily living, right? We need food for daily things. But if you study the Old Testament, you'll realize that olive oil was the most valuable commodity at that time. A primary way of exchange things or currency, like the dollar today. So in other words, what Solomon is saying, the wise stores up food for daily things that we need, but also plan for some of the future that might happen. Mm-hmm. And what I love about this verse is also that the following verse, which, by the way, every time we pick one or two verses, be sure we read it in the context. The following verse is saying that whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor. So think about how much wisdom is in this emergency fund that you can set up, that by becoming a good steward, you will discover life, prosperity, and honor.
It's just a good idea, wise idea, great way to start. Yeah.
Right?
So Nathan, our culture is very much like buy now, pay later. You have like Klarna, which you just described to me before the show. I'm like, what is this, Nathan? And he told me exactly what it was. Or like, with so many easy payments of whatever. So how hard is it, do you think, to commit to a zero debt lifestyle?
For me personally, after taking the class, at least like changing my perspective a little bit, I feel like now that I have the steps in place, it's not too hard. But if you don't have this or don't have like that type of financial mindset, I know a lot of people can easily fall into debt, obviously with credit cards and with Klarna, which is like just breaking up payments for like small things. Like I said, like a Lego set. So if I didn't want to buy or $100 Lego set right now, I could just pay $33 for 3 months, which I think is dumb. But yeah, that's something you can do nowadays. And so definitely if you aren't like financially sound, you could easily fall into debt. So it can be hard, I guess, to, what was it again? It can
Just
be
to
hard.
commit to that zero debt lifestyle.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
see how that could be hard for someone.
And I think it's good reward in delaying gratification, because we live in a culture where we want it now.
Instant. Yeah.
Good point.
So if we can just delay that gratification, it's going to bring more blessings in our lives and a much better rate of return on our everything that we do.
It's a discipline for sure, but it's really important and we're so used to everything just instantly. If my phone takes an extra half a second to load, I'm very irritated. So
Think about it. We start being frustrated at Amazon with
because
one
you
day
don't-
delivery.
Yeah.
Like,
If you don't
it's
get
not
your
fast
2 days.
enough anymore.
Yes, I know it. All right, Pastor C. So, how do the Financial Peace University principles align with the biblical concept of being a good steward rather than an owner?
Now, that's a very good point because many people think that, hey, I work hard, it's my stuff, right? Psalm 24 the psalm, and I think it's David, is starting the psalm with the earth is the Lord's. It's not just the earth. So we are not talking just about the dirt. And everything in it, the world, but he's not stopping there. Also, he's saying, and all who live in it. In other words, if we have a mindset that, hey, I belong to the Lord, then everything that I own belongs to the Lord.
Yeah.
And when we have that mindset, we are shifting our mindset from ownership into a stewardship, in a manager. Many of you knows I'm managing multiple LLCs, right? And
Yes.
I'm managing millions of dollars, but it's not my money. I am responsible and I'm accountable to a board, to the investors. So it's not my money. My call is to do my best to bring the best rate of return on those funds. And that is the same mindset in the stewardship, what God is giving us. I did not become a manager of those LLC overnight. I had to learn to be a good stewardship of my paycheck.
Yeah.
So started with my own funds, and then later on, I became good steward of our company, of my own company. And later on, I became a better stewardship and better manager others people's money, and so on and on. I think it's a good correlation between, and are a lot of parables and stories in the Bible, that if we are good steward in the little, God will keep giving us more. But it's about having this mindset that is not mine. I am just a steward. I'm just a manager. I'm just doing everything I can to bring the best rate of return for the owner. And that is God. When we have that mindset, everything shifts how we are seeing things. I remember a story about somebody prayed for a good car, to receive a very good car. And he prayed, and God blessed him with a very nice car. And very nice, shiny, good paint, and not brand new, but very, very shiny car. And one day he went to the groceries, came out, went in the store, came out from the store, looked at the car, and somebody scratched his nice, shiny car.
Oh, no.
And probably you and I will be like, are you kidding me? On my car? And he looked at the heaven and is like, Lord, I don't know why you want to scratch on your car, but you sure got a good one now.
Yes. Because it wasn't his car.
Wasn't his car. So he had the right mindset.
I do also think about how we, as a steward, we still benefit. You know, like we're taken care of. Like as when you're managing those LLCs, there is a benefit to you from it. But again, it's the bigger picture is it's not yours. You are being responsible to the other people. And so we're responsible to the Lord, but he's a good God.
He's a good boss too.
He's a good boss. He's a good God. He's a good like owner of the vineyard. Like all I'm thinking of all the
Well, think about his
stories.
compensation to us is not just financially, right? His compensation to us it's about peace and joy. It's good health. It's a good family, good children, and so on and on.
Yeah.
So as
So
a
many
owner,
benefits.
we get multiple benefits.
Any thoughts about that, Nathan?
Not too much. I had heard a similar story though about that car with one time I was at a Chi Alpha as well, where it was a pastor, his car got hit, but he was like, yeah, it's not my car, so.
Yeah. I don't know why you want a car that's all banged up, Lord. But thank you. Oh, so Nathan, Gen Z is often called the financial nihilism generation. They kind of have this idea that, well, housing or life is so expensive anyway, I should just spend my money on experiences and live it up. So how has your experience in FPU helped you to maybe counteract that a little bit? Or do you find yourself ever feeling kind of down about the future? Or tell us what you think.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, there's a lot of Gen Z content creators out there that have made literal videos about like our finance or our housing crisis, like of our future, and that like Gen Z will never own a house. And like I can see the concern for sure. But after taking FPU and stuff, like I feel like if you are diligent with your finances, and also like another thing that's key is the investing aspect, like getting that interest to pile up. Compounding interest, there we go. That definitely would help you in the long run. So I don't think like it's a long shot that Gen Z will own a house. Maybe it will take slightly longer than other generations, but I definitely don't think it's as hopeless as maybe some people are saying.
And do you think maybe what we were just talking about with stewardship, that stewardship idea, can maybe shift things a little bit for us, where, you know, those podcasters are probably like, or YouTubers, whatever, are maybe not putting their trust in the Lord for those things as much, because we answer to someone bigger,
Yeah.
you know, than our own circumstances. I think that plays into what we were just talking about with the stewardship. But
Yeah.
so you get to come from a different perspective of like, wait a second, I'm the Lord's and he gives me what I have,
Yeah.
and he wants good things for me. So
That's a good point. I think that's probably also why a lot of them cope with, I guess, experiences and like if they can't own a house or whatever. But I don't think like a $500 ticket to Taylor Swift is going to help you pay for that house.
yeah.
So yeah, and I think there's still ways you can do fun experiences financially smart, and also eventually still own a house one day. So
I know I love vacations, and my husband over there, he would rather invest the
I
money.
love investments.
But we find a healthy balance, don't we? And I help you live a good life, don't I?
Yes.
Oh.
We are so different, but we sure need each other to balance each other out.
And so I love the creativity, Nathan, that you have with like you're living life, like you're doing fun stuff, but you're also very focused on these kind of principles. And so kudos to you.
thank you.
All right, Pastor C, how can the church better support young people who feel like maybe that traditional American dream is out of reach financially?
Wow, that's a good question. And I think first we need to understand and define what American dream is. Because historically, American dream is grounded in the Declaration of Independence, right? Which asserts that all people have the unalienable
Unalienable.
unalienable
That's a hard
right to
word.
life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So that is actually what started in the Declaration of the Independence, the American dream. The concept balances two primary ideals: the opportunity for success, and that is the freedom to reach your highest potential unhindered by class barriers or inherited status. So it's about have no limitation or barriers in opportunity for success, which is still happening in today's world, in the United States. But also the materials and social security, which often it's represented by traditional milestones. And that where actually I think the American dreams is getting the meaning in today's world, because are those traditional milestones like ownership of a home, right? Home ownership, or career fulfillment, or a comfortable life later in retirement. And I think the best way to support young people, back to your question, is first to help them understand that what their parents accomplish in 50 years might not be possible for them to accomplish in 5 years.
Right?
going back to the instant gratification, right? So that is something that it's easy to compare like what mom and dad has 50 years later with what I don't have. We have to be realistic, but at the same time have a plan. So I think we can help them to just understand that. Second, I think we need to help them understand that what matters more than how much they make matters how much they spend and how much they invest. Because if they are smarter with their spending and their investing, they are not going to be focused just on, I need more, I need more, I need more. And they will become better stewards of what they have. And when you are becoming a better steward, you have more. It's just, and the third, I think that we can do to help the younger generation, require more time and commitment, is that we need to mentor them. They don't need more information because information is all over the place. They need more mentoring. They need someone to walk with them.
Yeah.
And by the way, to the younger generation, don't get your financial advice from TikTok.
Right?
Oh
My gosh.
Or from Face Magazine. Or from
Facebook, dear.
Insta Meals or Instagram, or you got my point, from all those media platforms. Don't get me wrong. I read those, right? I read everything and I read all those platforms, and sometimes I get good ideas from those. But I take them to my trusted people. I don't get legal advice from media. Although if I see something, I might take it to my lawyer. If I hear about the tax saving strategy online or on a platform, I don't just disregard, I might take it to my CPA. So I think the younger generation, we can help them to mentor them, to just walk with them instead of let them watch media platforms for informations.
Anything you want to add to that, Nathan? Any thoughts?
I don't think so.
Put you on the spot there. No, that's good. What I hear you saying is we need to offer FPU more.
Yes, and I've been teaching FPU. We've been teaching FPU for years.
Yeah, we went through FPU when we were first married.
Yes.
And it really helped us.
Served us well.
It sure did. All right, Nathan. Baby step 7 is about building wealth and about giving. So has your view of what tithing or generosity changed now that you have a plan for your money?
Right. Yeah, I definitely think I always have had tithing part of my life since I've been a believer most of my life, I would say.
Your parents helped you with that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
Shout out mom and dad.
Yeah. And but I would definitely say maybe my motivation has changed definitely to, I guess, build more wealth so I can be a more generous giver, because I do really like giving gifts, especially to my family. That's where I get a lot of joy. So definitely made me more motivated to get after it and then to be more generous.
Awesome.
Which I think it's a good point. You cannot give what you don't have. But if you are a good steward and you get more or you have more, then you'll be able to give more.
I heard you gave your family a pretty awesome gift at Christmas. Is that coming up?
Yep, in July.
What are you doing?
We're sitting front row at the Forrest Frank concert. So
Yes. That's an experience, Nathan. But it's going to be a good one. And you're still going to graduate college debt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing, Nathan. Okay. Cataline, what happens to the health of a church when its youngest members start practicing these principles from FPU?
Wow. Well, I see church as a family, right? And when you have healthy babies, creates happy families.
Nathan's not a baby.
He's not a baby, but we are talking about the younger generation.
Okay.
Also, healthier families create healthier visions, right? You get to dream when you are in a healthy place.
Yes.
And every healthy church out there has a vision, has dreams, has callings on their lives as a church, right? To pursue, to fulfill. But the ability to execute that plan relies on the holistic health of the congregation as a whole. And for this reason, I think it's important for us to teach healthy financial skills is the younger generation. When the youngest members become good stewards, they have a longer life span and they can accomplish more. I'm thinking about the 7-10 rule that we have in financial world, right? So 7-10 rule says this: if you make 7% on your investment, you double your money in 10 years. But if you make 10%, you double your investment in 7 years.
Ooh.
In other words, what I'm trying to say is that the longer life they have, the more they are going to be able to double, triple, quadruple their rate of return.
What is that verse? 30, 60, or 100-fold.
Correct?
Right.
And another Bible verse that...
And one thing I'm excited for, because I just see so much potential in you guys, Nathan, and is just you're going to be able to teach us some things too. You know, you're going to do it different.
Not to put you on the spot, that just curious. How much money do you have invested right now, approximately?
I would say, well, yeah, over 10,000.
Right?
So
That's awesome.
And I know other... Go ahead.
1,500 in like sealed Lego. So
Yes.
There you go.
Sealed Lego. I don't know what that is.
And I
What
know
is
other
that, Nathan?
teenagers...
that means unopened Lego sets.
Open Lego.
Oh, I get it. Thank you
Which
for school.
has a higher value.
Yes.
I get that.
He
yes.
could have opened it and play with it and decrease its value, but he decided to look
an
at
investment.
it, not, and it's an investment, right?
Yep.
Very
It's like
cool.
investing your money out there and not touch it. It's doubling.
Oh, so Nathan, while we're talking about your finances, what's your advice to another college student who thinks they don't make enough money to even start a budget?
Okay. I would say, well, one thing that definitely really helped me, because I guess I have like a soft budget or whatever, because I don't spend a lot of money. But the one thing I definitely do is track all my finances, which I think no matter the amount of money you make, like that's a really good idea. It's something my dad and Cataline helped me with when I was younger. And that's helped me a lot because then you just basically like know where your money is actually going and know like how much and all that. It definitely makes you understand, I guess, things more. So, yeah.
And I think people has a wrong idea about the budget. They are thinking about budget like restriction, limitations, what I can do with my money. But it's your budget. You can make a budget wherever you want. The idea is you have to have a zero-based budget. Like you have all the income equal all the expenses.
Yeah.
You cannot just have $200 income and make a $500 budget and put it on a credit card.
It has to balance.
Has to
You have
balance.
to have a balanced budget.
Yep.
Very nice. Yeah, one of my favorite Dave Ramsey lines from years ago when we took the course was, "A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went."
Yes.
Yes.
Good job, honey. Wow.
And I'm the spender of the family, if you didn't know that already. So just to let you know,
She
Dave Ramsey
is.
did impact me as well. All right. Cataline, if you could go back to your 19-year-old Cataline self, what is one thing about, and tell yourself one thing about money, what would it be?
Like 19 years myself?
When
That's
you were 19.
That's a long time ago.
It is.
Well, if I will go back when I was 19, I will say to myself, probably dream big. Just dream big. I wasted way too much time thinking about my limitation, about my capacity, about my surroundings that could limit my potential without realizing. So I will say to a younger myself, just dream big, but also bring the right people along your side to help you make the dream come true.
Like me. Just kidding.
Dream big, but also bring people along to help you put that dream in action. Because a dream without a plan, it's just a wish list. You need to have a plan. You have to pursue. And also, we need people to keep us accountable to that dream, to that plan. So I always like to say we all need God and godly people in our lives to see dreams, to receive dreams, to pursue dreams, and to make them happen in our lives.
It's good. I love that. And I just want to say thank you, Cataline, for how very good, for what a good steward that you have been since you were 18. Because I know at 18, I think you decided that all you wanted was to be a pastor and you wanted to invest, retire at 45 and be able to pastor without getting paid. And because of that dream that you steadily work towards, we have been able to plant a church, have a podcast studio, do all the, like, and I have the best life because you have led our family well in this area. So I just want to shout out just how very, very proud and honored I am that I get to be married to you.
And I think it's because, it's God's blessings. When you become good steward, God is going to keep pouring his blessings upon you. So I give God credit. And even this podcast media room, right? We are here and cost us roughly close to a lot of money. I'm not going to give amount. But technically didn't cost the church a dime.
Didn't.
Right? Because we were creative and we found other people that bought into the vision and made this happening.
Yeah.
So for us, it's just God's blessings can work different way. It's not necessarily a check.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a big numbers in the checking account. Mm-hmm. It's sometimes God works mysterious way, but his blessings is upon us as we are having the desire to become good and better stewards.
Yeah. And I think that's the theme for today is stewardship, good stewardship, because we have a good Father, a good God. So I think we've come to the end of our time. Any last comments or things you're thinking about as we're closing up here today?
Oh, I have a lot,
I
but we
know.
don't have to.
Not you. I'm really talking about to Nathan.
I guess my thoughts and whatever would be, if when we do another Financial Peace University and you're interested, to definitely check it out. I've talked to my friend Kieran about it, so hopefully he would.
Now
come
it's
and do it.
recorded.
Yeah.
No pressure.
But yeah, definitely check it out. It definitely helped me just understand finances more, a whole bunch of stuff, and it's pretty great. So yeah.
And by the way, I didn't pay him to say that.
Oh.
Yet.
Yep,
I'm
after.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, we're so proud of you, Nathan, and so excited for what the future holds for you and for all of our young people, our young adults, teenagers.
Yes.
Like the future is bright. So thanks for being with us today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Cataline, for all of your wisdom and insight and your humor as always. I think that's a wrap. We'll see you next Sunday at
In person.
Hanover Elementary School. Good night or good morning.
Or good
Whatever.
afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon.
See you next time.
Good night.
Yeah.